Hi and welcome to this yoga class. We're going to start off in a seated position today. Allow your spine to come nice and tall. Your shoulders are back down and away from your ears. Your eyes come to a close. Your forehead relaxes. Your jaw softens. We stack the vertebrae one on top of the other, working our way from the tailbone all the way to the top of the back of the neck. We allow our breath to expand all the way up from the belly to the top two corners of the shoulders. Allow these breaths to be grounding. Allow your exhales to sink the hips heavier into the ground. Your inhales fill you with a softness and a lightness. The breath can be rhythmic and flowing. The inhales can lead right into the exhales, and the exhales right into the inhales. We don't retain our breath. We allow the breath to flow rhythmically and naturally. We're not holding. When you're feeling ready, we inhale, begin to roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale them back and down. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, draw them back and down. Allow yourself to move at your own pace. Embody the breath. Just working any tension away. Really squeeze the shoulders up and then release them back and down. Squeeze the shoulders up and release them back and down. Well done. You might begin to incorporate the arms alongside, rolling them forwards. Shoulders come all the way up towards the ears as you lift the arms, and then all the way back and down. Relax them away from your ears. Squeeze the shoulders up as you lift the arms. Relax them back and down. Last one. Well done. This time we can take the hands behind the lower back, interlace the fingers, and open your chest. Maybe there's a little bit of rotation through the arms, forearms might gently open. And then when we're ready, we drop one arm down by your side. We slide the other arm up and over. Without pushing into that base arm, we lift through center, other side. Well done. Once more on each side. Well done. From here, we're going to send both legs out nice and long. We're going to dorsiflex the feet. Just realized I'm wearing odd socks. Please ignore. We're going to dorsiflex the feet and gently lift through the hips, hinge gently with the chest, and melt the heart space forwards and down. The dorsiflexion of the feet will mean that you feel this a little bit more intensely all the way through the backs of the legs. We keep a soft bend in the knees. And then when you're feeling ready, we soften that dorsiflexion, we soften the crown, we release everything forwards, and then pull up. Arms draw up by your ears. Well done. We trace the line with the left leg up towards the hips. Maybe you keep or use your arms to keep that leg nice and close. We're going to lift that leg up and over, plant the sole of the foot down, and wrap your right arm around the outer left leg. Left arm comes behind you, and we look over that left shoulder. Breathe deeply. It's normal for your mind to wander. Pay attention to where it wanders to. There is no right or wrong in yoga. Just observing exactly where you're at in the present. When you're feeling ready, we lift that leg. We plant the sole of the foot down to the inner thigh of the opposing leg. We dorsiflex that foot and we trace a line down towards the foot, reaching that arm up and over. Think about an openness through your body from the left hip to the left fingertips. This is all about length. When you're ready, rain that arm back down, plant your left hand down, push and open up through the right side. Reach from the right fingertips all the way down to the right toes. You want to be as long as you can. And then rainbow that arm around. Slide that leg up to meet until the soles come together. We interlace the fingers around the soles of the feet. Draw from the base of the spine all the way to the top of the back of the neck. We are open all the way through the chest. Shoulder to shoulder, we're wide. Belly is deep and ballooning. We balloon the belly forwards. The diaphragm expands and contracts with every breath. When you're ready, we send that left leg long. Sole of the right foot comes to the inner left thigh. We gently rainbow the right arm all the way up and over. We don't need to be as deep into this pose as we can. You might be able to grab that right foot, but not thinking about going as far, pushing the body as much as we can. Instead, we're thinking about openness. So we're inviting length from right hip to right fingertips. We think about what feels great in our body in the moment. And then we gently rainbow that right arm all the way back and down. Push into your right hand. Lift through the body. Think about driving your hips gently forwards, opening where we can. Well done, and then rainbow your arms back round. We take this leg and we gently plant the sole of the foot around the other side of the body. Both of your hip bones are planted down. We wrap left arm around right leg and we look over our right shoulder. Listen to your body here. Listen to your thoughts. Observe your energy exactly where you're at. In yoga, it's always an opportunity to just observe how we've arrived on the mat today. Often we think of these moments of silence as needing to be productive or needing to change how we've arrived. But instead, we just allow each present moment to be a little spotlight on exactly where we're at. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to change anything. We just observe. So we're going to take that foot that was planted down. We scoop up and round like so. We're going to cinch that heel right in by the glutes. we're forward facing. We could either leave this extended leg long, or we could scoop it round until the two soles of the feet are shining backwards, as long as the two sit bones are still grounded. If this feels okay for you, we're going to keep the spine straight and we hinge gently forwards, like so. This should feel really lovely. Through the hips, through the glutes. Might feel quite intense. That's okay. We are going to revisit this pose shortly when we enter into our more yin-like state. When you're ready, we walk the hands around to the left side of the body, as it is the right leg that's on top. And if you feel comfortable too, if we're in the double shoelace, we are going to keep the feet grounded and do a fun little transition. This doesn't always work. And we're going to land in shoelace on the other side. Sometimes we just end up in a little pretzel and we have to exit mission. But if we landed here, then we'll go straight into it. If not, take your time, use your hands. We lift that left leg up and over. Right leg is either extended long or in your double shoelace position. Hands gently frame the knees, and we deepen the bend of the elbows to allow ourselves to melt into the pose in a gentle way. We are supported by the hands. We're soft through the body, the face, the jaw, the shoulders. We're breathing deep into the belly. Well done. Walking your hands back up nice and tall. From here, we are going to scooch round, coming into our tabletop position. So we have both shins planted down into the floor, both wrists directly underneath the shoulders, yet the fingertips are what are bearing down here. Inhale deeply. Exhale, tuck your tailbone round through the vertebrae and drop the crown. Inhale, tuck your tailbone to shine up towards the sky. Flow through the vertebrae, open the chest, lift your crown. Exhale, tuck tailbone down, round through the vertebrae, lift abdominals to spine, spine to sky. We're articulating each vertebrae one by one. We're thinking about sequential control. Like moving through a bicycle chain, link by link, all whilst keeping the abdominals lifted. Well done. From here, we're going to tuck the toes, lift up into your downwards dog. We're going to pedal through the heels. We have a subtle external rotation here. The big toes are very, very slightly shining in towards one another, whilst the heels are very, very gently invited outwards. Think about someone lifting your hip bones up and back towards the back of the room. And when you're ready, we lift the left leg and we're going to open through the hip here. You might deeply bend the knee. We're going to shine that left hip as much as you feel comfortable with towards that left side of the room. And then we plant it down. We do the same on the other side. Well done. Plant both feet down and walk up towards the hands. So here we are going to deepen the bend in the knees. We're going to relax the hands down to the floor. Drop the head, Uttanasana. Your legs are supporting this pose. The upper body is nice and relaxed. it's amazing for the body just to change up that flow of energy. When you're ready, frame the feet. Step the left leg back into a lunge and open through your heart space here. Drop that knee, top of the foot. And if you feel comfortable too, we're going to trace a line with that right arm up towards the sky. Inhale deeply. And if you would like to challenge yourself and your balance, we're going to ground firmly through the right foot, press the left shin down, and we rainbow gently, reaching left arm to sky, right arm to floor. Come all the way back. Well done. Frame that right foot. Walk your hands back, open through the chest. Well done. When you're ready, frame that front foot, step it back up to Uttanasana, and then we step the right foot back. Inhale, open through the chest. Well done. Drop that back knee. Top of the back foot, we plant the right hand down and we thread, opening gently through the side body. Think about making your wingspan as wide as you can, pressing down through the right fingertips, reaching up with the left fingertips. And if you would like to challenge your balance that bit more, think about your foundation, your base, and then rainbow back with the arms. Reach the right hand to the sky, left hand to the thigh. Well done. Rainbow forwards. Frame that left leg. Hinge gently back from the hips. And we gently dorsiflex that left foot, bringing a deep stretch all the way through that back of the leg. Well done. Good job. When you're feeling ready, we tuck the toes and we are coming into our first yin pose here. So if you feel comfortable too, wearing flares so you can't quite see, the toes are tucked underneath the body. We have the option to stay here in kneeling or to kneel or lean forwards into toe tuck child's pose. If we are in toe tuck child's pose, you could keep your knees wide or together. Whatever feels best for your body. Now, because this is a yin pose, we're going to encourage the body to relax. It's normal for the body to be tense. And we often have to encourage that relaxation through the muscles, especially when we're in a pose like this that can feel intense. I often start with the target area. Think about the toes, the calves, the heels, all those tiny muscles, the large muscles, every single part of the body where you can feel that intense stretch. And just allow it to soften and melt and surrender with gravity. Allow the hard ground, the weight of the body, and gravity to all work together to find your edge, your perfect intensity. The perfect intensity in yin doesn't necessarily mean it feels easy or gentle. It often means the opposite. It should feel challenging, but not painful. Intense, maybe even a little bit uncomfortable. But we should never feel a sharpness or a pinching. It should feel like an overall warm, deep stretch. The intensity of the pose is what makes it so easy to stay present in yin. When you're ready, we untuck the toes. We slowly peel up. So we're coming into our counter pose. And we're just going to have our bolster or pillow nearby. Okay, our counter pose, you're just laying on your front, like so. We can rest our head down. Feet are completely relaxed here. When you're feeling ready, as slowly as you can, we're making our way into our sleeping deer. So think about moving mindfully. The area that you've targeted might still feel sensitive, so we don't want to use the feet too much to push up. You might use your hands and your arms instead. We're going to move our bolster into a comfortable position. I often find that lengthways is nice in this position next to your thigh. However, you can just move it wherever feels right for you. If you'd like it more of a pillow like so, you absolutely can. So once we've drawn it against the thigh, we're going to draw the legs into a little square. So from one thigh to the shin to the next shin, it's a nice square shape. Both feet are relatively flexed. And then, if you'd like to take it even further, we move that back knee all the way back until you feel this nice stretch through the inner hip. You should have around half a leg's distance between the heel and the knee. From here, we might rotate round, framing the bolster. If that feels too much, connect knee to heel again. If not, we can stay in that deeper position. Now, some of you might find, myself included, a bit of an angle on the bolster is a little bit more comfortable for when you then melt down. Once you've melted down, we should feel an intense but not uncomfortable twist in the torso. The torso twist should not detract from the depth of breath. We never want to prioritize the depth of the twist over the depth of your breath. We always want to ensure that the breathing is nice and full, nice and complete. Always ballooning into the belly, into the diaphragm. It's normal for your mind to wander. In both yin and yang, the mind can wander for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes it's because we're releasing tension from our body or the issues from our tissues, as I recently heard. It's thought that your body can hold an intense and immense amount of emotion, memories, and as we move our way through the session, we're undoing things that we've held for a long time, for a short time, things that built up through the week, just gone. The deeper we go, it's thought that sometimes we tap into things that we've held for a little bit longer. When we move through our yin poses, I guess move is the wrong word, as we allow ourselves to be perfectly still through our yin poses. We go deep and deeper into the body, tapping into the yin tissues. It can often feel like we're hanging into the poses. We feel this deep, deep sensation of stretch in the hips, the inner hips and the outer hips. The lower back. And just like holding your thumb into a knot, we might start to feel a subtle dissipation, a release from the fascia. Well done. We are going to slowly come out of this pose in your own time. We're pushing ourselves gently up, and it's up to you whether we take this next counter pose a little bit more intense as a pose itself, or a little bit gentler. Either way, we'd like to release through the lumbar spine. So you might go for more of a down-facing hero, supported by the bolster, knees wide but forward. Or you might go for more of a frog pose, where we draw the knees from a bird's eye view, completely parallel to the hips. We then draw the shins parallel to the walls by our side, and we relax here. Either way, we're releasing through the lower back. We're heavy. Think about where you can feel this. Observe where your mind's at. Observe from a place of kindness and compassion, a place of non-attachment. This means if the mind is still running at 100 miles an hour, that is absolutely fine. There is no right or wrong. There is no way that you should be. Often we think that the purpose of yoga is to enable us to become fully relaxed and happy and chilled. But it's not always that. Sometimes it's just about accepting where we're at, stopping trying to control where we're at, just surrendering and allowing, accepting ourselves fully, allowing emotions to be there that might not feel as good as other emotions, allowing thoughts to float in without reaction, without response, no matter how much we want to engage in conversation with them. Just practicing that discipline of stillness in mind and body, even when we want to fidget, even when we want to continue that mental chatter. That's my knee. Even when the pose begins to feel intense, we allow ourselves to sit with it, to breathe through it. when you're feeling ready, we are very gently going to push ourselves up. We are moving on to the other side. So we gently move the pillow round. We can place the bolster however feels right for us. We might have sole of the foot connected to the knee, or we might have a little bit of space between the two, maybe around half a leg's distance. We swivel round to frame that bolster, and if that does not feel right for you, then try a slight angle on that bolster. Relax down onto the bolster in any way that feels comfortable, that feels intuitive. We want to make sure that the twist of the spine is enough to keep our intensity of the pose. This allows us to stay present, but not so much that we are holding the breath, that we're keeping the breath more shallow or in the chest. The same for the legs. We'd like to ensure that the back knee is far back enough that we can feel the sensation in the front of the thigh, in the groin, but not so intense that it's all we can think about when the pose will be over. We ensure that we are soft through the muscles. We ensure that the hips are far back enough that you feel a nice stretch through the outer thigh as well. This is one of my favorite poses because you're completely held by the bolster, by the ground beneath you. Often the more we fall into our practice, the deeper we go, the more comfortable we begin to feel with silence and stillness. Observe the sound of silence. We know that we're shifting more into yin when that sound begins to feel comforting, peaceful, welcomed, rather than something that we have to fill. Especially in day-to-day life where we are often so in demand, so much is expected of us. We're constantly having to respond, react, do, change. And when we do have these moments of stillness, the mind is in that mode. Through habit, we stay in that state of doing, and we consume. We continue to chat, even within our mind's eye. When we allow ourselves to move into that passive state, a state of allowing, state of being, we allow that silence to exist. We allow ourselves to experience. Not necessarily experience anything in particular, just experience. Just exist and be. Perfectly, exactly as you are. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to do anything. When you're feeling ready, slowly as you can, we make our way up. And move the bolster slightly away. And we are coming into a counter pose. We are gently dropping down onto the back. We draw the feet wide and the knees together. The hands can rest anywhere on your person that feels as though it needs extra nurturing or attention. This is just a counter pose. We're not here for too long. Releasing through the inner hips, the inner thighs, the lower back. Our next pose that we are coming into can feel a little bit intense. So if you'd like to do just one leg at a time, that is absolutely fine. We're going to heel toe the feet in. And when you're feeling ready, we take the left foot into the left hand, either hooking big toe with the index finger and middle finger, and then follow with the right. However, if the hook feels too much, you could hold the outer foot, or you could even just hold the back of the thighs and let the feet fall forwards. That's absolutely fine as well. So do what feels right for you. If you're just on one side, you can drop right sole of the foot or even send the leg long for a more intense sensation. If you're taking full happy baby, then we're going to be here for 4 minutes in total. If we're doing one side at a time, then we're going to swap over 2 minutes on each leg. We allow a heaviness and a softness through the entirety of the hips. The thighs, the legs, everything is switched off. Everything is heavy. Often when we practice yin, there's an initial intensity. The ebbing and flowing feels less like waves and more like climbing up a hill. And then there's a moment of release or dissipation where the tension just melts away. Breathe and allow that gentle, perfect balance between compassion and discipline. We never want to force ourselves into a pose that doesn't feel right or that isn't met with that gentle dissipation eventually. We're always thinking about being kind to the body, being kind to the entire self. Swapping legs when you're ready. Allow yourself to move as slowly as you can. If we're in full happy baby, then just staying here. Breathing deeply. Allowing gravity to deepen you into your pose. Allow stillness and allow silence. Observe the sensations that you can feel. Yin yoga is amazing for releasing tension from your body for so many reasons. Not just do we release physical tension from our physical body, but we're working with the meridian system. We're tapping into prana, chi, life force. We're encouraging its flow. By choosing poses and melting deep, deep into them to target these channels or ley lines that run right through our body that are thought to carry life force, that zest for life, that health and well-being, thought to connect us to source, to others, to love. We don't need to do anything at all to achieve this other than relax, release, go deep. When you're ready, as slowly and softly as you can, we encourage the feet back towards one another. Use your hands to softly guide the legs back towards one another and long. Our counter pose here is simply having the legs long and allowing yourself to release and relax here. Allow gentle breaths. Soft rises and falls. The body is heavy. And we're coming into our final pose. If you do just want to stay here and lay, that is absolutely fine. If you would like to come into the final pose of shoelace, then we have two options. One option is sitting upright, and the other is laying down. If we lay down for our shoelace, then we flatten the spine to the floor, we hook left leg over, and then we draw right knee right behind the left knee. take one hand around the opposing foot and then the same on the other side, and we hug the legs in. So this is your supine shoelace. If we are seated and upright, it will look the same as we practiced it earlier, like so. This time, we allow more softness, more heaviness through the upper body. We allow a complete relaxation. Wherever we are, whether we are in our supine or our seated shoelace, we're switched off through the muscles that we're targeting. We're relaxed through the body. We're slow through the breath. It's normal for your mind to wander. It's normal for your body to initially resist and reject the pose. We melt down, we surrender. The muscles melt down. The body becomes heavy as long as the pose feels right for you. The mind continually returns to that observer state where we watch thoughts float in without responding, without reacting. In Yin, we would like to encourage a passive state as often as possible. It's thought that in day-to-day life, when we are doing and we're chasing and we're moving forward, all of this is very needed. But when we don't allow time for balance, when we don't allow time where we are static and still and silent, we're peaceful, allowing, passive, then we don't get anywhere through just Yang alone. We need to allow that time and that space for Yin. We just trust and exist and be. We allow time and space for energy to do its thing. The universe around us to keep moving whilst we are still, whilst we are peaceful. And all we're doing is breathing, deeply stretching, releasing tension. Existing and present, watching thoughts come and go, observing tensions and intensity rise and fall. When you're feeling ready, we're gently walking the hands up and swap around onto the other side. So if we are on our back, you might want to send the legs long for a moment before we move on to the other side. Just allowing the legs to exist, be heavy out of the pose. Energy flows through the hips, down the legs. You're feeling ready. And gently draw that right leg up and over. Left leg under. If we're on our back, right leg is closer towards your chest. Left hand is on the right foot and vice versa. When you're feeling ready, we melt. Whether that is heart space to the floor or knees to the heart space, depending on whether we are up or down. We are heavy. We surrender. We continually switch off. When we work with the meridian system, we're working with the physical body as each meridian directly connects to an internal organ. And we're working with the emotional body as each meridian is thought to govern specific emotions, and it can be the reason why we begin to feel excess or lack of specific emotions. If you feel excess of love or fear, if you feel excess of jealousy, excess of stagnancy, if we find we can't let go and forgive, all emotions thought to rely and align on specific meridians. Today we've mostly targeted meridians that relate to feelings of letting go and forgiveness, joy and contentness, fear, feelings of self-confidence and self-knowing. And no matter where we are on the spectrum, whether we feel completely cut off from an emotion or excess of emotion, practicing yin is thought to bring us back to balance, back to the middle. Our goal in yoga and meditation and all energy practices that allow us to align our body and our emotions and our mind, bringing us to present, is not for us to feel perfectly happy, perfectly zen and bliss the whole time. It's simply allowing us to observe where we're at, to bring harmony and balance into our body, our emotional body. Ideally, we'd like to be able to tap into and feel the full range of the emotional spectrum and bounce back to center. We don't want to feel cut off or shame for any emotions. This is why in yin we observe without pulling in, but also without rejecting. We don't want to draw in for further conversation. We don't want to push it down or away for us to experience it later. We just observe, experience. Similarly with thoughts, there is no right or wrong on the mat. If a thought floats in that is not good or bad, it just is. It's something that we, the observer, are experiencing. But because we're not entertaining it or engaging with it, it can only exist there for so long. We're not adding emotion, we're not deepening or spiraling either way into conversation. It's just a thought, something that we, the consciousness or the observer, are experiencing. We didn't create it. We don't attach secondary meaning to it. And it doesn't reflect anything on who we, the observer, are. The consciousness or the soul, however you choose to think of the part of you that is separate from the body, separate from the brain. When you're feeling ready, we walk our hands up nice and tall, or if we're on our back, we send the legs long. We're going to make our way into our Savasana position. You send the legs long in your own time. You might feel more comfortable taking a bent leg position. That's absolutely fine if so. Allow yourself, once you've found your perfect Savasana position, to relax down. Completely switched off. You're held by the mat beneath you. Observe sensations that run through your fingertips, through your palms, through your toes and your feet, through your legs, your arms, your hips, your shoulders, your torso, your head. We've mostly targeted the lower body today, so it's likely that you'll be able to feel a lot of movement in the hips, feet and the legs. This movement, whilst you're laying completely still, can be many things. We've loosened the fascia, we've allowed a complete release of tension, so you might feel the blood flowing through your body with more ease. I like to visualize the breath reaching all the way down to every tiny cell and atom of the parts of us that we've worked. Breath is nourishing. It brings in life, renewal. I like to visualize like the roots of the tree that move through our body carrying prana, being filled with light and life, like a surging of energy, reaching all the way down to the areas that we've worked and flowing harmoniously through the areas that we haven't. I often visualize this like a light source, whether you choose to view it as a specific color or sparkling bright light, flooding through your body. Imagine the blood flowing through you like a river. So much movement, even whilst you're laying completely still. The breath, the blood flow, the prana moving through the meridian system, or the chi, the life force. the heartbeat that you can often feel overflowing out of the chest, down through the arms, through the hips, through the legs. Observe these sensations through the left fingertips and the right fingertips. Through both sets of fingertips. Through the left palm, the right palm, both palms. The left arm, the right arm, both arms. The left shoulder, the right shoulder, both shoulders. The right side of the tummy, the left side of the tummy, both sides of the tummy. The left hip, the right hip, both hips. The left leg, the right leg, both legs. The left foot, the right foot, both feet. The left side of the back and pelvis. The right side of the back and pelvis. Both sides of the back and pelvis. Completely supported and heavy. The left side of the head. The right side of the head. Both sides of the head. The left eye. The right eye. The third eye, just above and behind your two eyes. The left ear. The right ear. Both ears. Focus on what you can hear furthest away and closest to you. the left nostril, the right nostril, both nostrils. Focus on the breath that you draw down all the way down to the base of the torso, to the center of the pelvis. Focus on the left side of the body, the right side of the whole body, and then the root chakra in the center of the pelvis. The left side of the whole body, the right side of the whole body, and the sacral chakra just above and behind the belly button. The left side of the whole body, the right side of the whole body, and the solar plexus chakra in the center of the lower rib cage. The left side of the whole body, the right side of the whole body, and the heart chakra in the middle of the chest. The left side of the whole body, the right side of the whole body, and the throat chakra, center of the neck. Left side of the whole body, the right side of the whole body, and the third eye chakra, the center of the forehead. The left side of the whole body, the right side of the whole body, the crown chakra. Crown chakra, which radiates out of the crown of the head, past the physical body, connecting you to a higher source, energy that you can't see, and things that you can, connecting you to love, universal source, connecting you to the prana or chi or life force that we've been allowing and encouraging and drawing in throughout our session. This energy that is always flowing to you. And in yin, we simply take a step back and allow it. We allow its flow. We surrender, becoming passive. We stop trying to control and do. We allow ourselves to return to a state of existing and being, where we connect with that energy without trying, where it's intuitive and familiar. only once we arrive there. Allow a few more breaths here where you're just being held by the ground, where you're just existing, free from the responsibility of your day just gone or your day to come. This is your time on your mat. And when you're feeling ready, begin to invite movement back into your body. Maybe we roll onto one side, making your way slowly up into a comfortable position. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. And I'll see you soon.